Okay, so let's continue with part 2 of our smart notes. Just want to continue in part 1. These notes, or these, let's call them smart notes, were added to our views, which each one of these views are going to go on a sheet. And here I have basement, southwest, level 1 and 2. So this is southwest, level 1 southwest. So it is level 1 southwest. It is going on this sheet. And we are here. Okay. So the notes that we need to place on this sheet, or we can place it on the view, depends on how you want to structure your view, your sheet, however whatever your office standard is. Okay, so let's go back to our view and let's get these guys in here before we get too crazy, before we say something we don't want to say, or before we say something we don't know anything about. So let's get on with it. So now, once we have our sheet note set up, this is the family, and we can edit the family. We can see that, let's do this. Let's just look at it. And I guess we can do it like this. Edit label. No. Where are we? Here. Edit label. Okay. And we've created all this in part 1. Okay. So now in part 2, we are going to, let's say no to this. We're going to create the schedule that we need in order for us to read what each note is going to say. I'm going to change this 12 to a 1. Okay. Let's change the 12 to a 1, and the note text is going to be, let's go 1. Okay, it's going to change to 1. And the note text is going to be, say it's whatever, this is a up and down, because there's a second level here. And it is here, it's water. That's the continuation of the note. Let's just say 3/4 inch going down. But on the first level, let's get off of this. Well, I'll keep it. On the first level, it should read, note 1 should read 3/4 inch up and down. So I'm going to say 3/4 inch up and down. Space, up, down. Let's just hyphenate it. And it's going to be on sheet note. It's going to be on sheet number 101. Let's go. So let's do this. So we are going to look at our schedule, and schedule is listed under view schedule. Okay, we're view schedule. Okay. And we want a note block. That makes it more intuitive. A note, I guess you could call it that, note block. A little bit more intuitive than sheet list, which is another function we can use. So let's use sheet block, and the note block name is going to be our sheet. So let's do this. The note block name is going to be our sheet. So I'll say sheet space, let's say P-101. That's the note block name. The note block name is the sheet that the note is going to be on. I'll say okay to that. And what comes up after we view our schedule, we call our schedule by the sheet number, and we are going to include the 3 parameters that we created in part 1. So we have note number, note text, and the sheet. So let's go into the filter. Let's go into each one of these tabs, okay, to create our schedule. So when we look at the filter, we want to filter everything but, okay, filter is everything but. It's everything but. I don't know how to explain that. Let's go everything but the sheet, which is P101. I'm going to say okay to this, okay? And this is that. But what I want to do is go back and look at the filter. Let's look at the filter function, because filter is, where is it? I don't have a filter for this. What's going on here? Wow. I need to add a filter. I was going to try to explain what the filters are. Plumbing, hot water, plumbing, waste. I guess I haven't covered it for this view. Okay, so I'm doing it now. Okay. So a filter is everything but. So we have water. This is, I'll say this is the water view. Because depending on your schedule, your office schedule, and how you set up your office, some offices have water, sanitary on the same view, but I like to separate mine out. So going back to the filter, I'm trying to explain filter, okay, in Revit, how I see it. So when I type VV and go to filter, I want to see everything but my cold water and my hot water, okay? So that means I turn off everything else and I leave on cold water and hot water. Okay, I hope that made sense. Filter is everything but in Revit. That's what it looks, that's what it makes sense to me. Okay, so let's go back to here. I think it's this one. Where is it? Okay, yeah, here, we're here. Okay, so we got filter equals everything, which P101. This will make sense when I do P102, I think. So filter is everything but, okay, and I want to sort by the note number, okay, and I want to leave this item everything on to make an example of why this is checked or why it's not checked, okay. So I'm going to leave that on and note number, and I'm going to say okay. I'm sorting by note number 1, 2, 3, 4 in ascending order. Okay. 1, 2, 3, or progressing. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Ascending or progressing, same thing. Descending is 4, 3, 2. Right, descending, ascending, 1, 2, 3, or getting higher or progressing, ascending. Okay, so I'm going to leave these alone and say okay to that. So it looks like we're okay. I don't want, yeah, I want to keep this on. No, I don't want to keep that on. Okay. Okay, so now that we have our note number 1. Where is it? We have our note number 1. And so if note number 1, and this is the same on the left side, I'm going to erase this. So I just use that as an example in a previous video, I think. I'm going to copy this note. Copy here and just move it on the left side. Okay. And say this is the same. So we have, instead of rewriting it as, where is our, so in our schedule, this is the schedule sheet P101. You can, I'm going to double click on it, and you see that what I've done, I've copied, right? Because in your views, that's the sheet, and this is the view. In your sheet, you're going to have duplicate types of notes, okay, throughout your views. If you have 10 views, you're going to have the same or identical note. It was like 3/4 inch hot water up. You may have 3/4 inch hot water up somewhere else, but you don't want to repeat 3/4 inch hot water up. So you use this as number 2. But what's happened here is that there's another number. I think it's this one. Yeah, is this one. Is why are there 2 of the same? Okay, so we can go back to our, okay, fields is here. Filter looks okay. Sorting, I want to sort by note number, which is 1, but what we've done, we've asked Revit to itemize every instant. Okay, you see that? See where it says every instant? So every time I put 1 down or 2 down, it's going to populate my schedule, and I don't want it to do that. So what we need to do in this case is uncheck every instant, because I don't want 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 all the way down, because I might have the same note on the view, but I don't want it to calculate every instant. I don't, meaning I'm going to uncheck this every instant. So when I uncheck every instant, then I should only have number 1 representing every 3/4 inch up and down on that particular sheet. Okay, so let's go to another one. Where are we? Let's go to sheet number 2 here, and let's do the same thing. We are going to call out, here's the note, which was in part 1, how this was created. I'm going to drag that here. Okay, let's call it, we're going to just make up some numbers here. I'll call it note number 1. Okay, note number 1. I want to add my arrow. We're just gonna call it here, and let's just make it look pretty. And the note text is going to be, what size is this? That's a 2-inch. Let's call it 2-inch down. Okay, I'm going to highlight it again. Note is going to be 2 inches, 2-inch cold water down. And it is on sheet P102. P102. Okay. Now, so when we bring in our note block is sheet P-102. Okay. Let's say okay to that. And again, we do the same thing. We bring in all 3 of our parameters. We filter by everything but sheet note number. And that's going to be P102. We're going to sort again by note number in ascending order and not itemize every one, not itemize every 2, 3, 4. We don't want to see all of that. If it's 1, it's going to be 1 per text, 2 per text, or 3 per text. Okay? So we got all of that. And formatting, I'm not going to format this because it depends on how you want. You can come over, you can, I mean, it's just, you can hide some of these fields, left, right, center, horizontal, vertical, all of this. There's a lot of stuff down here, but I'm not going to go into that. So everything looks good as far as I know. So that is our schedule. And in our schedule, it's going to populate in our schedule in the project browser. Okay, it's P102. Okay, so when we go to P102, let's start at P101. I'm going to open P101, and what we need to do, we can drag our schedule onto our sheet. It's gonna, I mean, I'm not gonna get into having it fit, but now it's being populated in our schedule. We can manipulate these, we can control these guys. Okay, that's how it's gonna look. Wherever you want to put the schedule, and let's go to P102. Oh, it must be, okay, sheet P10. Let's do this. Double click. This is P102. And I can drag my schedule onto P102. That looks pretty. I like it, I like it, I like it. And we can drag these cells so that they look pretty. And we can move them around wherever we want. And the note number 1, 2-inch cold water down, sheet number. Okay. So we can go back to, I'm gonna P101, what's this? Is this a view? Okay. Oh, that's a sheet. Okay. That's another sheet. So the sheets are there, and these are our views. Okay, that's 1. Let's copy. 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 Let's call this guy 2. I'll say 2. And let's call this 3-inch cold water down. I'm just putting a note on here just to make an example. Okay, and let's move it over here just because, just to make a point. And let's go to water. As water has the two, right, identical, but because we're not itemizing them, it's only showing up in one row on our schedule. Okay, and let's do another one. Let's copy. Let's copy this cat. Let's call this number 2. It's going to be 2, and let's look at this, and let's call it a 4-inch up and down. Okay, now let's go to our sheets, and let's see what we got. Sheet 101, sheet 102. Okay, so number 2, we have note number 2. The text for note number 2 is 4-inch up and down, and it's on the same sheet. And where are we? Let's go to sheet 102, and let's look at this one. So number 2, that's the 3-inch cold water, sheet number 102. Okay, so you can not have sheet number. And it depends on you, however you want to look at. Let's look at P10. We can sheet, filter, okay, that equals that, sort, okay. And what you can do, you can hide the field sheet note number. Okay, let's do this. So that all you have is the note number, no text. And the good thing about all of this is when you're, let's say you have 15 different kinds of notes, but your view is so limited and so skewed because of the amount of information that's on your sheet, and you don't know what number is next. So what's the next number? How do you find out what the next number is? Because all of this can get clouded, depending, how your drawings can get clouded. And if you're working in a small area, you don't have time to back up and see, well, what's the next number? What's the next number? So the solution to that is you go to, see, this is P, this is second level. So it's here. So it's P. So you can always go back to your sheet, your schedule, and look at what the next number is. In our case, it's going to be 3, right? So if it was 20 of these, the next number would be 21, and so on. Okay. So that's part 2 of our smart notes. Okay. And there's a lot that's involved with this. I'm just giving you a small example of how this is basic, right? So, and as you go along, it can help with your views, because some drawings can get very clouded, can get very congested, right? There's a lot of information that goes on these sheets. And if you have a long text, it can get you can get lost in text being overlapped and a lot of stuff. So I think that this way you can bypass all of that and go to your schedule and see exactly what note 1 is. And note 1 on your schedule is 3/4 inch up and down. And note 1, P101, you can go to P101 on your sheet, and you can look and see what that is. So again, we can look at note 101. Let's do this. 101, go to our filters, format, sheet note number. Let's hide sheet note number. Okay. So when we go back to our sheet. Let's turn this off. Okay. So it only shows with the note number and text. Okay. Okay. Well, I hope that helped. That was part 2. That was part 2. And now I'm out. So I hope that helped, and I will talk to you guys later.